What's up, sports fans? My name is Lucas Weiss, host of the Weesesports Chronicles podcast. We got a great episode for you today. Next guest is Dedrick Dodge. He is a two-time Super Bowl champion. Special teams nickelback with the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. Since it's Super Bowl week, I brought Dedrick on to chat about his Super Bowl experiences playing with Hall of Famers like Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders, Shannon Sharpe, John Elway, Terrell Davis. What the preparation of this week is like, especially for the players playing in Super Bowl 55. And he also offers his insights into the Super Bowl 55 matchup featuring Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. So a fantastic episode ahead of the podcast with Dedrick Dodge. Always, you can catch the Weesports Chronicles podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. So make sure to like, rate, watch, and subscribe to all three of those channels. Now, without further ado, let's get to today's episode with Dedrick Dodge on the Weesports Chronicles podcast. All right, as I said off the top, it's not every day I get to speak with not just a one-time Super Bowl champion, but a two-time Super Bowl champion. He is Dedrick Dodge. He is joining me on this edition of the Weesports Chronicles podcast. It's Super Bowl week, Dedrick. It's why I'm bringing you in here. How's it going, brother? How are you?
Yo, this is my time of the year, man. I'm just trying to tell you. Canada, what's up? Big up. It's weekend. This is my time, man. I'm loving it, man. I'm feeling real good, man. I'm excited about the game come Sunday.
So is this week, I just want to get your perspective. So is this week, like every single year, sort of like Christmas for you? Because you get to relive the memories, you get asked to come on podcasts, to chat about things?
Brother, you just said it all. Every year. And it's only if you win it. If you don't win a Super Bowl, you don't want to hear from nobody.
Yeah.
I was fortunate and blessed to be with teams that were good enough to be able to get it. And so you're right, brother. I'm talking about every single time this year, it just rejuvenates you because I know exactly what they're going through. I know exactly what the media day is and all the preparations, and I know what the game was about, and I know everything, even talking with you, you know what I'm saying? And I know, and it feels good to talk about it when you win.
Yeah.
When you don't win, you don't want to talk about it.
Dude.
So I was able to win, so man, I'm loving it.
Well, no doubt, and you should definitely still celebrate. So do you? So from doing research, I noticed that you're an educator as well. Do your students like ask you, like, show me the Super Bowl rings, show me all the fun memorabilia?
Yes, they do. And I have, like, no matter what school I'm teaching at or where I'm coaching at, I coached 7 years in college. I've been a head coach at 4 different high schools. They all love to see it. And I love to show it to them because it inspires them. I want them to be next. Of course, everybody, you know what I'm saying, parents and all, we want anybody that we touch to be better than us.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to inspire them and motivate them to be the best that they can be. When they want to see it, they can Google me and different people that I played with, like Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And played against, like, Barry Sanders and played with Jerry Rice. They're amazed, like, what? You have? You can too. You know what I'm saying? You just got to put the work in and the effort in. But yes, they do want to see the things, and I have it to be able to show them, to try to inspire them and motivate them to be the best they can be.
So you were, of course, a former safety. You're repping your alma mater, Florida State University. Go Seminoles. Go Seminoles right there. There you go. Of course, you played in 2 Super Bowls. Let's start with the first one with the San Francisco 49ers because, of course, the 49ers, I mean, what a historic franchise that was in the 1980s. When you get that chance to play in the Super Bowl, and this is your first Super Bowl, just maybe walk the listeners through what was it 2 weeks of preparation or just 1 week? Because I believe it's changed. Can you maybe just elaborate on that?
I forget how many it was back then. I don't think it was one. I don't remember if it was one back then, but I will tell you this, sir. We felt in preseason that we was going to win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
That team was built to win the Super Bowl. When I tell you we were loaded, we was loaded with Hall of Famers. I'm talking about from other teams, like Ricky Jackson from New Orleans. I mean, we had Ken Norton from Dallas, Gary Plummer from San Diego, and then we had 49ers, Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Steve Young, Deion Sanders from Atlanta. When I tell you they built that team to beat Dallas, because Dallas was that team. And they built it to be able to beat Dallas. And once we got Deion Sanders, I think that was the cherry on the top, because we needed a lockdown corner, a person with his personality and passion, you know what I'm saying, that exceeded like excellence, you know. And once we got Prime, you know what I'm saying, Prime.
Of course.
Prime, but I'm telling you, I'm not. When we was in preseason camp, and you can feel from the beautification crew that kept the facility nice, all the way until Steve Young and Jerry Rice and Mr. Eddie DeBarlo, that we were going to win it that year. I mean, truly, I've never been in a situation where it was like, all right, then we're preparing to win it. And that's how it was from preseason all the way until we got to the Super Bowl. We had to get through Dallas.
Yeah.
It was like getting through Dallas. Once we got through Dallas, it was not, you know what I mean? We knew.
Well, because Dallas, for those listeners who may not be aware, they were the dominant team in the 1990s, right? I mean, and some people say they could have even won 4 or 5 straight Super Bowls if it weren't for Jimmy Johnson leaving and things like that. Because, of course, they had Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, like just a star-studded team. But then there's the San Francisco 49ers team, and you mentioned some of those names. Steve Young, Jerry Rice, primetime Deion Sanders, Hall of Famers. What was their presence just like on a daily basis, just being around that level of greatness?
You know, they say there's a saying that it's different levels to thing. When you're around someone like Jerry Rice, who only knows one way of preparation, Steve Young, who only knows one way of preparation, Ricky Waters, Deion Sanders, Ken Norton, Bryant Young, I mean, I can keep going on and on, Merton Hanks, Tim McDonald, you know, they only know one way of preparation. That's how they prepare. You can't help, because you wouldn't have been on the team.
Yeah.
If your mentality wasn't that same way. So fortunate that at Florida State, you know, me and Deion played together. I played for the great Bobby Bowden.
Yep.
My mentality was championship mentality. I learned that. And so when we got to San Francisco, that was created and put together. But if you didn't keep up with them, you was going to fall behind. But you felt it. And so you wanted to make sure that you wasn't going to be the reason that we didn't win, because you saw how hard everybody was working to be able to get to that point. Steve Young had never won one.
Yeah.
Steve Young's living through the time of Joe Montana. He trying to get that monkey off his back. You're not as good as Joe Montana.
Yeah.
You're good, but you're good as Joe Montana. Oh, we like you, Steve. You ain't good as Joe Montana, because you never brought a championship to San Francisco. And just to be able to be a part of Steve Young's first was just fantastic. And you've seen in the videos that they show that Steve Young was like, "Can you get this monkey off my back?" You know what I mean? Because it meant just that much to him in the city of San Francisco.
So it's Super Bowl week. This Super Bowl took place. The 49ers, of course, ended up eventually defeating the San Diego Chargers. We'll talk about the game in just a bit. But, like, the week is in Miami, Florida. Miami, you know, one of the jewel cities of America. What is that week of preparation like? Because in doing some interviews with the coaches, now the different teams, like, given that they have 2 weeks to prepare, week 1 is all like they insert the game plan, and then week 2 is just getting acclimated and whatnot. Obviously, this year is very different because of the pandemic, but in a normal year, like, what, from your experience, what was that preparation like, and what were the distractions like? Because I feel like the Super Bowl is a lot bigger now, but it still was pretty big back then.
Basically, what happened was this. Coach Seifert said to the whole team, we're going to Miami. Beautiful city. A lot of things going on. This is a business trip. You can visit Miami any other time you want and have fun. This is not the time. It's a business trip. And that was our mentality. You know what I mean? We was all on the same page. We're going to Miami, and it's a job that needs to be done. That's how we prepared. The bulk of your preparation is done the first week when you at home. And then because you know that the media requests and everything that you get when you go to the Super Bowl. So everything is done before you go. You already rock solid on the game plan, defensively, offensively, special teams, before you leave, wherever you leave. Whatever team, I don't care what it is. Because they know wherever they go to the destination Super Bowl is, it's a lot of distractions. You just sharpening the blade when you get to that place. You done put in everything. All the hard work and preparation has already been done. Now you're just going over, reviewing, and sharpening the blade. You already know. They already prepped you on, like, this is what's going to happen. Don't feed into anybody. Don't give no bulletin board material. You know what I'm saying? For nobody give it. Hey, we stay in the course. Our goal is here. It's a business trip, not partying, not seeing family, to win the Super Bowl. Because winning the Super Bowl is forever.
Yeah.
Winning the Super Bowl is forever. And that was the mentality that was put into us.
The 49ers were 18.5-point favorites entering that game. The Chargers were deemed this sort of Cinderella team, if you will. You guys won by over 20 points. Dare to say that was sort of according to script, the way you guys played, or did you think that you guys even outperformed your expectations?
No. Pittsburgh messed it up. Pittsburgh Steelers, y'all dropped the ball.
The black and gold, the terrible towels.
Yo, it was supposed to be San Francisco and Pittsburgh. And San Diego went to Pittsburgh and played out of their minds. Ended up getting. We had already beat San Diego convincingly in the season. I mean, we really felt, and we didn't like overlook them, but we just knew inside that we were better than San Diego. The better game would have been Pittsburgh with their tradition against San Francisco in the Super Bowl. But it didn't change our mindset as far as preparation because we didn't take nobody lightly. So even though we know a team, because we saw them, they went into Pittsburgh and beat Pittsburgh. We knew we had to prepare the same way because our goal was the same. I'm telling you, man, from preseason. From preseason, I'm telling you, everybody in the building network, I don't care who it was, the people that bring in the mail, it was like, we're winning the Super Bowl this year. I'm telling you, that's how it was. And that's how we prepared the whole year.
It's funny because the game of football now is so pass-focused, pass-happy. And you look, I'm looking at the statistics right now. Steve Young, who ended up winning the Super Bowl MVP, 24 for 36, 325 yards, 6 touchdown passes. Jerry Rice, 10 catches, 149 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like, we see greatness now, and we'll talk about the two quarterbacks that are obviously in this Super Bowl, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, but like, those two were just on a whole other level, Steve Young and Jerry Rice. That 1-2 punch, what was truly something to behold, wasn't it?
Two of the greatest.
Yeah.
You got a guy like Jerry Rice. I mean, he needs no introduction.
Yeah, no introduction.
Look, let me tell you something. Jerry Rice practiced on walkthrough days like it was game day.
Wow.
He really did. I mean, it was a different energy in the way people prepared back then at San Francisco. I mean, everything that they did in practice was game day. Like, every day was game day. So it wasn't practice, it was game day. And so what would you do during the game? That's what they did every day in practice.
Yeah.
Every single day. Steve Young. And if I was part of the scout team, and if I did something that kind of confused them, Oh, Steve Young and them would ask, what did you see? What did I do wrong? They wanted to be the best that they could be. That's how the whole mentality was then. You're talking about people that, and you're talking about Ricky Waters, it was just everybody fell into it. And then you, like I said, you bring in a Deion Sanders, Ken Norton from Dallas, a Toy Cook from New Orleans, you got Tim McDonald, you got Merton Hanks. I mean, Bryant Young on the defensive line, Ricky Jackson from New Orleans, you name it. Brent Jones at tight end. I mean, William Floyd from Florida State, first-round draft pick.
Yep.
Fullback. John Taylor on the other side. I mean, you name it, choose your poison with that team that year. And we all bought in. Coach Cecil did a great job meshing all the different personalities. And we was able to stay healthy all year and be able to. Daniel Stubblefield, I mean, I can name all of them. And we was able to go through in the end.
You win, the moment happens, you win the Super Bowl. What's going through your mind?
We knew we was going to win it. It was like, I'm going to say for me, because it was my first.
Yeah.
So it was jubilation, like, oh, this is what it feels like to win a Super Bowl. And Mr. Eddie DeBarlo, you won't meet a more classy, top-notch, A-class owner than Eddie DeBarlo. Eddie DeBarlo, top-notch. I mean, that's all I can say. He was always there for the games, congratulating. Even when we lost, we're going to be all right, we're going to be together. He loved San Francisco. He loved his players. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't only want to just play for him. You just wanted to play for your team. You wanted to play for Steve. You wanted to play for each other. And that's exactly what we did. So when we won it, it was just like, I'm telling you, man, we knew we was going to be Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
Especially after we beat Dallas. It was about Dallas. Because Dallas was that team. They ended up winning it the next year. Dallas was that team. And it just was jubilation. And then to bring that back to San Francisco as the fifth, who's the first team to be able to win 5. I mean, that just was awesome. And just to go through that experience, man, and to see the fans and the appreciation from everybody, from the organization all the way down to, I don't care who it was in San Francisco, it was just love, man. It really was. Just a moment. It's hard to explain unless you was there, because it's everlasting.
Yeah.
The money, you can't buy it.
No.
You cannot buy that. You know what I'm saying? But what you go through when you win the championship.
3 years later, you're back in another Super Bowl. Different team, the Denver Broncos. And it's interesting because you make the parallel. Steve Young was talked about, living in the shadow of Joe Montana. He finally won his first Super Bowl as a starter. And then you have John Elway, who has been to the Super Bowl multiple times but can't get it done. That's the narrative there with John Elway. Until, of course, 1998. Patrick Mahomes this week is going to go through this. He's playing his second Super Bowl, trying to win his second ring. For you personally, what's the challenge of trying to get to and win the second one? Obviously, the first one, there's that jubilation. But for you to get the second one, now with a new team, just curious your thoughts on that.
Well, Mike Shanahan did an excellent job. They had just lost to Jacksonville the year before. What he did was he bought a few 49ers because he was our offensive coordinator in 94.
Yeah.
He bought a few 49ers to help bring together, as far as just that gumbo, bring together, this is how you prepare and act to be able to get there and get over the hump to be able to win a Super Bowl. I think that really helped because we had the guys he brought in, like me and Derek Lavelle and some other guys, we had already been there. And so we knew how it was, how to prepare for it. They already had a great team with Shannon Sharpe, John Elway, Terrell Davis, Steve Atwater. It just needed somebody to get over the hump, kind of like Tampa is right now with Tom Brady. It just needed that peace. And so that helped bring us together as far as that. They remembered the sting from the year before. We were just able to give a little bit to get them over the hump. Now, that year was you heard Mr. Bowen talk about when he said this one's for John.
Yeah.
That whole year, really, I really feel, and I mean, somebody might say different. We was playing for more than ourselves. I mean, especially because I had one.
Yeah.
But we was playing not only for us, but for John Elway. Like, Steve Young and John Elway. When I'm telling you, they great guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're guys that don't look at you. I'm a special teams nickel player. They didn't look at me. They didn't look down on me.
Yeah.
Or anybody. They treated everybody the same. And so, like, you was playing because you wanted to be part of John Elway getting his first ring. And I'm going to tell you the moment when we knew we won in that game.
Okay.
You know, when John Elway dove for that first down.
The airplane. The airplane. One of the most memorable Super Bowl plays of all time.
When he got spun around, old as he was,
yeah,
diving and giving up everything he got hit, spun around. All of us held our breath on the sideline because we thought he might be hurt.
Yeah.
He got up and gave us the fist pump. I'm okay. It was over then.
Yeah.
it was over. It was over then. Because here go our leader showing us, look, I'm giving everything I got. You know what I'm talking about? What you gonna do? I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? We knew it was over then. Because we were playing against a great team.
Yeah, Green Bay just won the year before.
They just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
A great team. And they act like it too. I ain't gonna lie to you. When they saw us in the streets, they was acting like it. I think they was a little overconfident, I feel. Underestimated us because we got in as a wild card. But at that time, it was one of the greatest runs. We beat Jacksonville at home. We had to go beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. We had to go beat Kansas City in Kansas City. And then we had to play and defeat the defending Super Bowl champions in the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Do that. You know what I'm saying? So it was really that one was more special than me than the San Fran. The San Fran, we were loaded.
Yeah.
Denver, it was a team just overcoming odds. You know what I'm talking about. And that was really special also. And I just feel fortunate to be a part of it.
Well, yeah, and then look, I mean, Green Bay Packers had Brett Favre as their quarterback. I mean, they were a loaded team, but then to finally get one for John Elway, and it's interesting that you mentioned that because this week, Tyrann Mathieu said something similar in his media availability. Like, you know, I already have one, but I want to win for my brothers who couldn't have played last year due to injury or the new guys on the team. So I think that's one of the beautiful things about football is that, you know, it's such a large team. And look, you may still have one, but you're really going out there to try to win for someone that doesn't have that feeling yet of what a first-time Super Bowl champion feels like.
Yes, that's exactly right. And as a fan, that's what I loved about Kansas City last year. I love for the teams to be able to experience that feeling that I was able to feel, and those fans to be able to experience that haven't won one. You know what I mean? Because it really is a tremendous feeling because as talented as we are, we're nothing without the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really nice, man. We feed off the energy and the passion and the love from the fans.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of hard that all the fans are not able to be in there. I forget what game it was in the playoffs. It was Green Bay.
Yeah.
Remember Roger said when he walked out and saw the fans, even though it was a few of them, it gave him energy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like when you walk out and you see them, they screaming that we got your back, we got you, man, we love you, this and that. You playing for more than just this. Bobby Bowden always told us that. What you do, you play for more than just yourself. And you heard Tyrone Matthew said that.
Yeah.
So he's playing for more than just him. He's playing for, that's his motivation.
Yeah.
I got one. He can easily be like, Lax, no, man, this guy don't got one. Mahomes is playing for history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those guys are playing for Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, and you know what I'm saying? They find the motivation to be able to go against the GOAT.
Of course. It's interesting to me because I think of any sport. Look, hockey fans, they're great. Basketball fans, great. Baseball fans, great. There is nothing like a conference championship game in one of those football stadiums where the place is packed and it is just, you can feel the electricity. And normally you associate it with winter, so it's cold and the fans are just going crazy. And same at the Super Bowl when it's, sold out. And I just think it's interesting this time around in Super Bowl 55, certainly limited fans in capacity. There's going to be a lot of cutouts. There's going to be a lot of cutouts because of the pandemic. But do you think that the fact that for both teams, they've prepared the majority at their home, do you think that's going to help them? And especially for the Bucs, that they're playing in their home stadium.
I feel, my opinion, that it benefits Kansas City, even though sentimentally, I root for the Bucs, sentimentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just for Tom Brady and coming from there, and I'm a guy that graduated from the state of Florida.
Of course.
Sentimentally. But I think by Kansas City being able to practice at home and it not be, it helps them because it's, even though it's home, the Bucs are home, it's not really like they're home.
Yeah.
Because like you said, they can't get the majority of the fans in there, only in the street. But Kansas City's not down there to hear that stuff. They're in Kansas City. So they don't have to deal with none of the media, the fans from Tampa, talking to them. They're not distracted. They're locked in, razor focused. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would have benefited the Bucs more if it was a regular scenario, you know what I'm saying, that you could go through. Because then Kansas City would have had to be down there, hear all that stuff. All that stuff matters psychologically. Kansas City ain't got to deal with that. You know what I mean? They're at home. So they're treating it like not more that's a regular game, but they don't have to deal with the distractions that you have to deal with in a regular. Everything is Zoom. Everything is Zoom virtual. There's no pressure. Like, they're not around that. So now they can prepare like they normally prepare during the week and go there and try to perform.
Yeah, and I think if they were there and if it's a normal Super Bowl, you're going to get all the distractions, all the media, all the hype around this game. And look, this game, just look no further than the quarterback matchup. That gets you hyped up. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, probably the best quarterback right now versus Tom Brady, the undoubted GOAT of quarterbacks in the NFL. I know the narrative is, okay, if Patrick Mahomes can win this, he can have a chance to catch Brady. But my point is, I just think Brady's at a whole other level. And that's no disrespect to Mahomes. He has the years to do it. But I think what Tom Brady's done throughout his whole career to keep himself fit, healthy, is just on a whole other level. And I think, to me, we just got to just appreciate the greatness here. And let's worry about the legacies down the road.
Yes, I believe that exactly what you said. Tom Brady has done a fantastic job. I think the Tampa Bay defense has really stepped up these last 3 games, which allowed Tom Brady to be able to make some mistakes and it not cost him. Tom Brady don't throw 3 interceptions and win in Green Bay and win the game. But their defense, and when people get hot, we've seen that happen from the Baltimore Ravens and different defenses throughout. The Bucs defense is really playing exceptional right now. They need to, again, play exceptional again, because it's going to take the defense.
Yeah.
Because that team they're playing against is one of the most dominant that you'll ever face. I don't call them out any level what they're doing. They just have so many weapons, and they got a quarterback in Mahomes that's basically like no other quarterback. He is athletic, and not only athletic, but he's accurate.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's an athletic quarterback. No, he's a quarterback who just happened to be athletic, which means that he can do things with his feet. He can throw the ball in different angles, underhand, sidearm, overhand. And the weapons that he has to throw to, and Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, the Cheetah, Sammy Watkins and Harden, and you still got Le'Veon Bell and the kid from LSU, and you name it, he has it at his disposal. But no one will doubt Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Because Tom Brady is Tom Brady, and they also have weapons.
Yeah.
And Michael Evans, Antonio Brown, and Fournette, and the weapons that they got. The team that makes the less turnovers.
It's always the way. It's always the way. It feels like, you can do all the fancy analysis and in-depth X's and O's breakdown, but at the end of the day, it's who wins the turnover battle. And, special teams, which you have experience with, that could become a huge part. A kickoff return, a punt return, who knows? It could be a huge difference in a game.
Yes, it can be. I believe that through the statistics for this year, Brady, when he's blitzed, is different when he's not.
Yeah.
I expect Kansas City to not let him sit back there.
Yeah.
Don't let the GOAT just sit back there and be comfortable, because no one denies who Tom Brady is. And you best believe they know they're going to get the best of Tom Brady, and he's done a fantastic job for their locker room and just bringing them together and giving them belief, because how can you deny a man that's done won 6 Super Bowl rings? He's been here before, so I know they're picking his brain, how we should do, we should do this and that, because none of them have won it. Tom Brady's the only one, so they all looking to the leader, and he's been doing a fantastic job as far as on that. I don't think Kansas City's going to let him sit back there and be comfortable. I expect Bruce Arians and his offensive staff to be able to have some quick plays, screens, and things for Brady so that he don't get hit. I'll be surprised if this let him try to sit back there and let them bring 6 and 7 and put pressure on him to get him off his game. Now, on the flip side, Mahomes is not – pressure don't bother him. Matter of fact, when you pressure him, that's matchup, brother. It really is. I think a lot of people excited, as you and me, to be able to see. You got the young, they call him the baby goat.
Yeah, the baby goat. You're right. Against the real goat.
Baby goat against the old goat.
Yeah.
Excited to be able to see who comes out on top.
How has the Super Bowl experience changed? You played in 2 back in the 90s. Is it just bigger than it was back then, in your opinion?
Other than this year, yes.
Yeah.
Because of the pandemic.
Obviously this year we could count out. This is just so strange. But
larger and larger with media. And it's just the media. It's just the hype, because it's a what makes the Super Bowl so special, football. I'm talking about American football, is that this is not a series.
Yeah.
It's not hockey. It's not basketball. You got best out of 7, best out of 5, whatever it is the best. This is one shot, one kill. That's it.
Yeah, one game.
And it's worldwide, everybody watching it, because it's only one time you're going to see it. It's not like you're going to see game 2. Ain't no game 2.
Yep.
This is it.
Yeah.
You got to win this one. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. So that those people know that. We know that as players. And I feel for, I do, a person like the great Jim Kelly. That every time this year comes around for him, he doesn't feel like me. And that man was greater than me as an athlete.
Yeah.
Was at his position. Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure.
But I got a greater feeling for this year, for this time of the year than he do.
Yeah.
Because every time during his year, and even Dan Marino, it's been lost. That's why it was so important for Steve Young to win. That's why it was so important for John Elway to win. Because every time this come around, because it's going to come around.
Yeah.
You know what it feels like to win. Not be on the losing end, but to win and get the confetti poured on your head and be able to wear that ring. That's what they're playing for come Sunday.
Well, it's interesting you say that because, look, people say, well, you get to a Super Bowl, well, there's going to be next year. Well, there could be the year after that. No, you don't know that. There's no guarantee. And I think that's what also makes this game great, that it's just one shot, because you don't know what next year's going to bring, especially now in the era of a huge roster turnover. So maybe the construction of the team is different. So that makes this game so important. And then I would even make a case like, look, the jubilation that you felt is fantastic, and it's amazing. It's a feeling you don't want to ever feel. But I bet losing is even more painful. Like, think about the Atlanta Falcons up 28-3. And having people, remind them every February about that 28-3, comeback. I mean, Russell Wilson, he won one, but I wonder if you ask him, what's a stronger feeling, winning or like the pain of losing? Maybe the pain of losing. So it's interesting.
The pain of losing.
Yeah.
There's just no pain like losing, and you're right. Every time this year comes around, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just naming a few, and not to mean to, but I'm saying it's true. They got to relive the disappointment, because the AFC Championship wasn't the Super Bowl.
No.
Even though they won 4. So you don't get that same thing. You can't like, well, we won the AFC Championship. Nobody really wears that backup ring. It's a backup ring. They give them rings. AFC Championship ring, NFC Championship ring. I just fortunate enough didn't have to have one. I've seen them. They have them. But who wants to wear one and think it's a Super Bowl ring, and somebody asks you, oh, you won the Super Bowl? Well, no, we did. They got to relive that every year because they didn't win. And that's why I say again, that's why it was so important to Steve Young for what he did and John Elway as they go through this right now, because they were ones that came on that Atlanta Falcons. Man, I can go back to college and say the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
They had Alabama to the last second. You know what I'm saying? It's so hard to get back to a championship game. Now look at Atlanta. They're talking about, how we going to replace the quarterback and different things. You just said it. The team is never the same the next year. So it's hard to say, all right, we'll get back next year. Oh, no. Free agents, injuries, you don't know what's going to go on the next year. You know what I'm talking about. You just don't know. You know what I mean? Kansas City was fortunate. Now, let me say this, as I say about Kansas City. They got some linemen that's down.
Yeah.
That might benefit, They got the backup guys got to play a little bit up. They're replacing some Pro Bowlers that they kind of fit in there. You got APP.
Yeah.
Bad on the other end. We're talking about the defense as far as that may have effect in this game. The Bucs need to play defense like they've been playing the whole playoffs.
Yo, for sure. And look, I think, Jason Pierre-Paul, when he won the Super Bowl with the New York Giants beating Tom Brady, that was like what you got to do. Like, you got to have that pass rush that's just ferocious. And I think the loss of Eric Fisher for the Kansas City Chiefs, and then they've been decimated all year with their offensive line. But I think that it could give, people are overlooking the Bucs, I think, in this one. Because I still think, Dedrick, that if it's a final drive, I want Tom Brady with the ball, even at 43. And look, Patrick Mahomes, he may be like that guy. He hasn't had many opportunities to have game-winning drives. I still want the 43-year-old. If it's one final drive to win the Super Bowl, he's the guy I want to have the ball.
And I'm right with you. Why? Because he's been there.
Yeah, he's been there. He's been there.
He's the man. He's the man with the jury. I don't know. I don't know. I know for a fact there will be no other quarterback to win as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady. And for what he's doing at the age that he's doing, leaving New England, coming down to look at what happened in the transformation.
Yeah.
Didn't make
the playoffs.
And look what happened to the Bucs when he came in.
Yeah.
Talking about the importance of a player. I mean, Patrick Mahomes went down with a concussion in a game, and the backup quarterback came in, and they still won.
Yeah.
You think if you lose a guy like Tom Brady, that's a different impact. That just shows you how dominant that team is Kansas City has put together. You know what I'm saying, as far as their confidence. But I'm with you, brother. If I needed to drive, because Joe Montana's not around right now.
Yeah.
If I needed to drive right now with guys that's playing, of course I'm going to take terrific time.
Yeah.
To be able to bring us down in the end.
Dedrick, I want to end with just, you mentioned the 2 Super Bowl rings. How did winning those 2 Super Bowls change your life?
I'm talking to you right now.
That's one way. That's one way.
Look, you the person. Look, you talk about a guy who was undrafted.
Yeah.
In the NFL. You talking about a guy who went to Florida State, played with some great players. Like I said, Deion Sanders, Sammy Smith. I mean, I played with great teams at Florida State. Never expected to be in the NFL and just was fortunate enough to be a part of some great teams. But when you win it, and I remember being in San Fran, man, we was like rock stars. When you're a part of that, you know what I'm saying, people want to feel a piece of that also. And then when you win it, people want to know how it was. And because I was able to be a part of teams that won it, people want to know how it was.
Yeah.
I just talked to 2 days ago. I played in the World League.
Yeah.
And I was a part of the first World League championship.
Oh, wow.
In the World League. And I had a guy from Europe, a reporter, called me, comparing the experiences from the World League championship to the Super Bowl championship. You know what I'm saying? It was a good interview.
Yeah.
I'll never get back to the NFL without the World League. And I know that was an NFL spinoff, but it was because of the World League that gave me a shot back to the NFL, which gave me a shot to be able to be in the position to win 2 Super Bowls.
Mm.
Now, here I am, Dedrick Dodge, nickelback, special teams player, undrafted.
Mm.
And I'm talking to excellent reporters like yourself, sharing my experiences because I was there with Steve Young and John Elway and Deion Sanders. I was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I played in it and against Brent Favre and, Stan Humphries and, the Natron Bomb and all those different players. I was there and I was part of that to be able to share to people. This is how it was. So, you want to know how it felt? It feels fantastic. This is one of my – I've said this before, sir. This is more than Christmas, this is my favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
It's my favorite time of the year because I can relive everything that these guys are going through. And I can predict the end, not for them, but for me because I want it. I'm not going to lose because I played part of 2 and I won. So at the end, come that Monday, I'm still a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that from my teammates, coaches, and staff and administration. Those moments are priceless, as you would know. They're priceless, and if you don't believe they are, ask the ones who never won one out there. Ask Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Ask Minnesota.
Yeah.
Those people that played during them times. Ask Miami. I mean, after when ask Dan Marino. Ask him how he feel during this time. He smiled, but he remembers I never was able to get back. You know what I'm talking about?
No, of course.
Man, I wasn't able to. So it's been fantastic, man. Fantastic to live this. This eternity.
Yeah, no one could ever take those rings away. That's what I always say. No one could ever take those rings away. Last question for you, Dedrick. What were those Super Bowl victory parties like?
There was conservative.
Okay.
That you may not think. We was protected when we won them. We was just with family.
Oh, cool.
And the team. So it wasn't like the parades where the fans are all involved. Both of them it was events where it was just the 49ers and family, Denver Broncos and family.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic. A lot of hugs, a lot of kisses, a lot of daps, a lot of, good food and music and seeing the owner and taking pictures, knowing that we was part of a special moment. That's what they playing for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they playing for come Sunday. They playing for them special moments that will last with them for eternity. You know what I mean? For life. You can't buy it. You cannot buy it. So it was fantastic. But those Super Bowl celebrations, like right after the Super Bowl, was more with the team. And then we was able to experience it in the parade with the fans, which was really fantastic to be able to see the people who helped support us, gave us energy for us to be able to, because we was playing for more than just ourselves.
Dedrick Dodge is a two-time Super Bowl champion. Dedrick, I really appreciate you taking the time to share your stories and to come on the Weesports Chronicles podcast.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. My pleasure.